Hi, this is the Open Hearth. That was a weird start. Usually it's this is session so and so of this ongoing series, but there's no ongoing series. It's just a one shot. It's a one shot of Red Borg, which is a hack of Borg that is themed for the characters playing revolutionaries against fascism. Why are we playing that, you might ask? Because it's Labor Day today. The Revolutionäre Kampftag der Arbeiterklasse, as we say in German, which I think is very nice and punchy, the fighting day of the working class. And in that mood, we are playing a bunch of Italian revolutionaries trying to destroy a train that is headed for Turin to crack down on striking workers. But before we do any of that, let's do a quick round of introductions. Then we will do our safety stuff. Then we will pick characters. And then we'll go right in. And I hope, since we're only doing one shot, we will be done with all of that within the first half hour. I am Dominic. I am your GM, or as this game calls it, Supreme Soviet for today. I've been with the Open Hearth since January 2024. And maybe as an icebreaker question, what is your relationship to Borg, which is, of course, also helpful for me to know as GM. And are you are you faithful servants of the working class? As to the second question, yes, I am. And for the first question, I have never played a Borg before. This is my first time. And usually I find this whole like black metal and snot and grime theme of Borg a bit, let's say, sophomoric. And that's not really my bag, but I do like rules light games. And reading this game and also Borg, I noticed that it's very, very close in philosophy to one of my favorite family of games, the Mark of the Odd games, Into the Odd, Mythic Electric Bastionland, and tons of others. So I'm looking forward to this, to playing a familiar game that is nevertheless new to me in a setting that I think I can connect a lot with. Much more than the original Merkborg. And with that, Maya, how about you?
Yeah, I'm Maya, she, her. I've been with the Open Hearth since basically last autumn or so. With regards to Merkborg, I am from Sweden, so I guess that's my relation with the game. I've never played it, absolutely with the working class.
Nice. And Thomas.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Thomas, he, him. I'm on the Open Hearth Discord, but I've never actually, this is the first game I think I've played with people from it. So
nice.
So yes, it's actually a good start. My relationship with Borg, so I've never played Borg, but I do own and read Cyborg and Pirate Borg. And I've forgotten the new one. It's Punk is the Punk one. Whose name will come up.
Punk is Dead.
It is Punk is Dead, yes.
Yeah, it's standing right next to Borg and Red Borg in my shelf.
Yeah. But the one I have played, or at least run, was Orc Borg, which is
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's pretty much 40k orcs, but with all the IP filed off.
Nice.
And
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I was kept interrupting you. I am very sorry for that. We've already had a little brief discussion about everybody's consent to being recorded. If at any point anybody in the wide internet listens to that, then that I guess means that the already given consent has not been revoked, which you can of course do at any point. And if not, the point is moot, I guess. Let's quickly talk about safety features. As this is a game on the Open Hearth, it follows the Open Hearth Code of Conduct, which is a longer document that we don't have time to get through in any detail. In short, it's boils down to don't be a dick. Be respectful to your players and be kind to your players and support your fellow players. and use safety tools. And we have a standard array of safety tools in place. The most important and basic one of them being the open door. If you don't like what we're doing here, or any reason at all, really, you can just leave the table. You don't have to explain that to anybody. I won't be mad if you find 10 minutes in that I'm a shit GM and the game is not cool. That's fine. We've all been there, and I won't take it personally. But also, if something happens in your real life that calls you, if you get a headache, whatever reason, if you feel like you need to leave, that is totally cool and not a problem at all. And the second one of those that are not on the safety tab, because they are hard to model on the safety tab, is of course the X card, meaning whenever we do anything that you don't like, and you don't like, I've phrased that like that intentionally because it is supposed to be really, really low barrier, right? It is not a nuclear option. If anything happens that you don't like, you can just say, hey, let's stop that. It is, of course, helpful if you can tell us what it is that we should stop doing, so we can stop doing, but you don't have to justify or explain it any further that you're comfortable with. And again, it's not a nuclear option. Please don't think that. If anything happens that you don't think is cool and that should stop, just say, hey, I'm Xing that, or hey, can we stop that, or a phrase to that effect. And then we have the lines and veils, of course, and the Romans plot matrix. In the Romans plot matrix, we can just put in our name. I will just start with a top field. And I am cool with, I only have NPCs to Romans, and I'm cool with that. And in the hypothetical case that I would have play Romans between two PCs, I would be cool with that as well. And the choices are yes, no, or ask first. And you can also put notes down. I don't think there's much Romans to be played in this particular scenario, in this time frame. But who knows, maybe. So and then we have the safety lines and veils. I tried to come up with lines and veils that are catered to this particular setting, a game. And I probably have forgotten at least 5 very important ones. If that is the case, you can just write them at the bottom of the list, and you can mark them as lines. And line means that is something that will not come up in this game. It will not be addressed. And I tend to handle my lines very, very strict means. If you say, I don't know, let's do something, let's say a line on gulags and political imprisonment, then that means that will just not be part of this world. And there's no room for, I'm cool with political imprisonment, but not this particular one. Or I don't want to play with political imprisonment, but political imprisonment of Nazis is cool. That is not what a line is. That is what an ask first is, where you say I'm in general like not super happy or not super comfortable with the topic, but we can talk about it. That is ask first. Lines is it will not be part of the world in no shade or form, and there's no exceptions from that. So this is a nuclear option. Veils is stuff that can be part of the world, but will not be addressed. A classic part of that, for example, a line for me is sexual violence. There is no way that is part of my game world. Also, no form where that is okay. A veil is something that can be part of the world, but will happen off stage. For example, it's not on the list, but let me just quickly write it there just to demonstrate how that works. Graphic sexuality is a veil. Means we can have characters kiss, but if they take a room, then this is where we stop. We know in fiction they are having sex, or sex between characters. Go with sex. We know in fiction that they are having sex, but we don't need to play it out. That is what a veil is. Then ask first, as I touched upon earlier, is stuff that we are willing to have as part of the world or as a narrative, but we need to tread lightly and ask for enthusiastic consent. right? We have a ask first, for example, on violence towards wild animals. And if we imagine a case where you are being, you are in the frozen tundra of Siberia and you want to slay an animal to get its pelt, that would be a case where you're like, hey, we do have a ask first. Is that okay if I do that right now? And then we talk about that. Also, this of course goes both ways. It's a living document. It changes all the time, and we're all just humans. So if I forget about that ask first and I just spring a wild dog on you, please remind me that we have an ask first and that I should have asked, and we will talk about it. So ask first is the talk about a bit. And interest, somebody has interest in mass casualty and war crimes. Interest is stuff that we do want to see at the table. Since we're playing a pre-written scenario, I don't know if I can accommodate mass casualties and war crimes. I apologize for that in advance, but I will try my best. And with these things, it's always the most restrictive one that counts. So somebody put a veil on sexual violence. I put a line on it, and line supersedes the veil. And with that, I think everybody has made some choices within the line and veils matrix. Is that right? Are you done, or do you need more time for that?
No, I'm happy with that. To be honest, I'm
okay.
Easy thing with everyone else.
Yeah.
The only one I was going to mention when it comes to, so I see we've got asked first about graphic combat and violence and gore. So I think this will work because my one is just normally there's certain descriptors with certain bits and pieces I'm not a fan of. That I can always put it in notes if you like.
Yeah, notes are always helpful. Yeah. What certain bits and pieces do you mean?
Eyes and teeth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. There are many of these lists where that is an extra point. It's not on mine. I just noticed. You would also be totally within your rights to just put an extra no eyes and teeth stuff line, but you can also put it under graphic combat and
okay.
What matters is not so much what's on the list, but what matters is that we talk about it and we know what to do.
Okay, brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So then we have one strong line, and that is sexual violence. That will then also not be part of a backstory or like mentioned in passing. Then we have a veil for sex in general. We have an ask first for graphic combat, violence, and gore with the note avoid description of harm to and harm to eyes and teeth. And we have a line on violence towards pets and one to violence towards wild animals, and a interest in mass casualties and war crimes. And with that, we can go over to the Soviet sheet. But before we do that, maybe let me just quickly point out that I also put in a rules sheet, and you can find the entirety of the rules of the game on that sheet. And all the important rules are above line 83. So if you want to, look over them during break, you can do that, or want to look something up. This is where you have the rules. There are a few slight differences from Borg, but since we don't have any Borg pros here anyway, I guess that doesn't matter too much. And hold on, my character keeper is being a bit wonky right now. There we are. And then we can go back to the Soviet. We have a handful of character classes that you can select. We have the soldier. Maybe we can, so in order to, no, let me ask you, have you had time to read through them, both of you?
Not in detail.
Okay. Then, yeah, then we can just read through the top bit together, so we have an idea of what the idea of the character is. So the soldier. Maybe we can do it around the table. I do the soldier first. The soldier. My parents were farmers, and I would have been too. But then the war came, and I learned to shoot from old Samotech. I went to hell, and I came back. Lieutenant Andrei Ferry. You've watched your friends die without even knowing the reason you were fighting. Now you fight so it doesn't happen again. At least that's what you tell yourself. Maya, could you read the Stakhanovite for us, please?
Yes. Yeah. I am the hammer of the masses, Comrade Plumber Bursk. You were the cog that made the machine work, but for the capitalist pigs that was never enough. and now you will reclaim the dignity of the sweat on your brow. You'll still be using the tools of your previous trade, but in a far more persuasive manner.
Thank you. Thomas, could you read the medic for us, please?
Yes, of course. So, nobody dies unless I will, Professor Philip. You dream of a world in which people don't die simply because the capitalists have put a price on the right to life. A world in which wings of science and are not clipped by a fictitious god. Fictitious god.
Thank you. The cosmonaut. We look to the future. The sea of stars and planets will be our home. An entire galaxy united by socialist ideals. Major Lou. You feel the call of the sky. You have served as an aviator or parachutist in the best regiments, but your eyes look beyond that, to the stars. When the revolution is over, the time will come to cross the threshold into space and show the world the strength of a united people, and it will be you leading the way into the cosmos. Maya, can you do the open-minded artist first, please?
Yes, the open-minded artist. You have to believe it. There will be a homeland of love, a better world. There will be an infinite people with no nonsense capitalism. The people's artist, Albano. You're the voice of the revolution. The people are lost without you.
And Thomas with the anarchist.
Yeah. Weapons? A bottle and rag are more than enough. Comrade Frank, you were in the streets when the soldiers started firing on the crowds. Unfortunately for them, anything can blow up if you know how to use it.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the suffragette of the revolution. The last man who underestimated me was found with a slit throat. Comrade Alina Salona. You are fed up with patriarchal oppression, and now on your body belongs You're fed up with patriarchal oppression. From now on, your body belongs only to the party. And then there's one more. It's the classless, but let me just let's just ignore that. That is an option where you just play with none of those classes, and it just means you have more gear and more hit points, and your level up system works a bit differently.
Yeah.
But as Comrade Malcolm X said, a man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. So we're not doing that.
I think that's quite standard from a lot of more board games. They just hit classes, then also how to do it without.
And now the choice is yours. Which playbook you want to play? Maya, do you already have a favorite?
I was kind of thinking between the suffragette of the revolution or the anarchist.
And Thomas, you?
So I was between the anarchist or the I still don't know how to pronounce actually the second one,
the Stakhanovite.
Stakhanovite or that, but no, it's between one of those. I'm going to go forward and hit things kind of character mood.
Okay, well that means I can already minimize all the others, and then you can have a talk about which ones you want to take between the three that are left on the table.
I mean, Maya, did you have a preference between those two? And I'm happy to figure it out from there.
Maybe we can have a quick talk about what they do and what their things are. So this Stakhanovite is the toughest of them. He starts with 12 hit points, and where the others only start with 8. And his deal is basically that he's the tough breaker. The anarchist is this special thing is that he does not have any equipment and doesn't have any weapons, but he has a quite involved special rule where you can build improvised bombs. And the suffragette is basically a Black Widow type assassin. So we have the bomber, the heavy, and the assassin.
So I'm just reading through the ability options to get an idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the abilities are for later in the game.
Okay.
The only one who starts with an ability is the anarchist.
Anarchist, yeah, that makes sense.
And I thought since we're only doing a one shot, I will put in like 1 or maybe 2 opportunities for advancement in our one shot, so we can experience that. Cool. So it's not completely irrelevant.
I think I might go with the suffragette then.
Okay.
I will go for the. I'm going to go for the. I still can't pronounce it. Every time my dyslexia kicks in, I go to read it and it just breaks my brain. The the worker.
Okay, Staccanovite.
I'm going to write that down and see if I can actually remind myself how to pronounce it.
So and now we can just go from top to bottom. You obviously have the name for your player name and pronouns and your character name and pronouns. And since the scenario is set in Italy, it would make sense for your characters to have Italian names, I think. But of course, that is not like a total demand. Like it can also be, of course, I don't know, English agents or whatever you want to be. So, and then in this character keeper, you have all these fields like K8, for example, or L20, where you have a die code, which just means if you click into K8, or in case of the suffragette, BD8, and roll a D20 and put the result in there, then in the field next to it, you will see your origins. Mm-hmm. So you both need to roll a D20 now and put the result into the D20 field, the field that says D20.
Are you using a dice roller or?
Oh, yeah, I haven't set one up, but I can quickly do that.
Don't mind if I'll grab some dice.
Whatever you prefer. If you want to roll with your physicals, you can do that. But I can also quickly set up a dice roll. I just forgot.
Don't mind. I've got a here.
Yeah. I do have some, so I might as well.
Should be
okay. And then let's roll with the physicals.
So you're saying in the box next to the, or in the box? I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Then you have your 4 abilities, and they go between. So you have strength, and if you mouse over, you can see what they do. Right, strength is melee fighting, lifting, crushing. Agility is dodging, moving rapidly or stealthily. Actions requiring precision. Presence is perception with all 5 senses. Shooting and charming. So shooting is a presence in this game. And toughness is resisting pain or fatigue and survive falling. If you roll 3d6 and put the result under the ability column, the modifier will show up on the right of it. And the modifier is the number we're actually working with in the game.
You said 3d6, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Where did you say this was set again?
In Italy in 1943.
Italy, 42.
There are a few scenarios in the book, but this one is the shortest by far, so I was confident that we might get through it in a one-shot.
That's never going to happen again.
Nice.
Triple 6.
That's one charming worker.
Still just intimidation. That's my standard kind of roll.
So, and as you can see, the hit points have changed now as well. Your max hit points are 11. That is 8 plus your toughness modifier. No, that isn't true. Wait a second.
No,
12 plus your toughness, and since your toughness is -1, you're down to 11.
That's funny.
So I'm not entirely sure if we want to play with Zeal. Zeal is an optional rule that will make you much stronger, but also would require some extra blocking a rule. And it is not. It's not super difficult, actually. Yeah, maybe we can do it, because since you're only 2 players, you will need all the help you can get.
Yeah.
So then you can roll a d3 and put whatever result is into the Zeal field. That doesn't trigger any automation in the character keeper. It's just how much of that resource you have at the start. Wow. Nice. You are committed revolutionaries, both with the 3.
Yeah.
And then you have your equipment. As you can see, the Staccanovite has only 1 bit of equipment, where he rolls a d8 for, and the suffragette has 1 piece of equipment and a bag that holds something surprising.
I will be back in just a sec.
Yeah, nice. Combat fan and an elegant dress. Be fun.
I usually have a hard time coming up with names, but I remember that I had the Story Games name project PDF laying around, and there were Italian names there, so
nice.
I grabbed that and rolled on the
very good.
names in there.
Viviana Taglieri. Mm-hmm. So we have a carpenter's axe for our working class hero, and combat fan and an elegant dress for the suffragette.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have your rucksack. You can carry. Let me just quickly check in the rules section. It says here capacity. I automated it. To the right of your rucksack, you have capacity that is there is some. It is 8 plus 8 plus your strength. And since you both have strength 0, it's 8 for both of you. And you start with a few items, and then whatever you might collect during the game can go into the rucksack, but you only have capacity 8. But also the inventory system of this game is not very detailed, so it's all very vibey. And I personally hate capacity systems anyway, so I will go on and ignore that. But if it's important to you and you like keeping track of stuff, that is your limit. And then let's just roll for your weapons and you both have tools. Mm-hmm. Survival items are not suited for the suffragettes' cover story. Survival is not your goal.
It's not the goal. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's an axe and a machete.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this because it's a real surprise. And a flashlight or lantern.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Good. So, and as it's described in the book, the stuff from like your inventory is stashed in or dangling from your rucksack. A machete, cool. The weapon of the disenfranchised. Very nice. Okay, with that we are done with character creation. That's it. So let's quickly have a look at your characters. Mason, the Stakhanovite. You were part of a trade union, and not many of you survived. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Mason, Thomas? Just whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, whatever's coming to mind. So, he is a large man, worked a trade union. So I think it was, he worked in kind of the lumber industry. So a combination of lumber and carpentry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in an interest of increased productivity and finding other things, I think generally the people he worked with, the camps he worked with, they were pretty much worked to a point where there were less and less people working there through to injuries or, unfortunate death. It's a risky place to work, as I said, lumber camps and large carpentry factories. And kind of just going to use the image we've got here as a standard descriptor. So probably just change the colour of his hair. So he's a large muscular man, all the weight in the torso and the shoulders. Probably black hair and a full beard. I like the kind of don't know what you'd call that. But yeah, I don't think I have any other ideas at the moment. For
I'm just curious about your low toughness score. Is that like some old wound from the war, or like or something you got?
Well, I think he got it from the same thing. So he's part of the trade union. Not many of them survived. I don't think he survived unscathed. I think he has a rather nasty injury on his right leg, which causes him to limp. And although he's got all the strength in his arms, his legs are the weak bit.
Yeah.
It just causes him not to be as solid of a mountain as he would like.
Nice. And what about Viviana Taglieri?
Yeah. So she's kind of so the origin I got was, the communists will win, which is why you fight for them. And I think so. Basically, her main goal is just to get rid of the patriarchy, and since the communists will win, it's better if she fights for them first, so she can be on the winning side, and then sort of come with her demands to them as saying, "Hey, I contributed, and now give me my due, and let's overthrow the patriarchy." She's got this elegant dress, so I think she's kind of traditionally beautiful, and kind of uses that to trick people to think that she's just a dainty, fine lady, but she is actually has a combat van and a sword, and all kinds of stuff to mess people up.
Nice. I'm curious about your origin. The communists will win, which is why you fight for them. Is that what flavor does this knowing that they will win have? Is that they will win because you're I mean, they are on a losing streak, so I guess that answers my question. That is they're not the obvious winner, so it's more of a faith-based knowing that they will win.
Yeah,
There's this historical teleology that Marxism has, where it's kind of clear and preordained that capitalism will fall eventually.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it has to. It's wrong, and obviously, yeah, capitalism has no future one way or another, and let's just make it as quick as possible.
Nice. Okay, then I think we can maybe start the scenario and maybe have the first scene, and then we'll go into a first break. So let me just read some stuff at you. The Locomotive by Andrea Chupac-Mollica, 5th of March, 1943. Hundreds of workers announce a strike in the factories of Turin. Phones in the local police station ring incessantly. Various political figureheads start to sweat. Fascist militias void their bowels at the thought of standing up to metal workers. Bread, peace, and liberty is the motto chanted by the belligerent workers. But the regime still has a terrifying ace up its sleeve. On the night of the 7th of March, you are called to a secret meeting in a farmhouse a few kilometers away from Turin. Waiting for you are two important party members, Gianno Cervoni, Gianno Carvoni and Caterina Rossetti, who share a piece of information that cost the lives of many brave comrades to retrieve. A train is expected to arrive in Turin on the afternoon of the 9th of March, so in 2 days, carrying within one of its armored carriages a secret mind control weapon obtained from the secret labs of the regime's Nazi allies. The weapon will be used to suppress revolt in the factories and, should the operation succeed, its application will be extended to other counter-insurrectionist activities in an attempt to throw the party off the scent. The regime has had the train take a meandering route with very few stops, but it is a known certainty that it will stop for approximately half an hour in Chivasso before entering Turin, in order for Commissioner Ignazio Ganassa to board the train. The revolutionaries' task is to find a way to board the train in Chivasso and make sure it never arrives at its destination. Given the short route between Chivasso and Turin, Comrade Cervoni believes the only reasonable option is derailing the train to ensure destruction of the weapon, which is the primary objective. It is clear from Cervoni's words that he does not expect you to survive. Mission success is all that matters. And while Cervoni talks your ears off in an attempt to fire you up with his rhetoric, Comrade Rossetti appears markedly more skeptical. And this is where we can maybe drop you in. That was the cutscene. Are there any preliminary questions you would like to ask, or any ways you want to engage with either of them too, while Cervoni is going like, yeah, you are the spear tip of the revolution. Without you, the whole effort is doomed. You might not come back, but of course you will gladly give your life for the cause. I know that, Comrade Mason, and I know that of you as well, Comrade Taglieri, and I applaud you for this. Do you have any further questions? And meanwhile, his colleague Rossetti is like,
I think Mason is just nodding along. He agrees with this logic. I don't think he has any questions. It sounds simple. Derail train, destroy device.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I think Jana is just sort of shrugs. This seems easy enough, but I think you might just take the moment to push back a little and say, well, this seems easy enough. I think I at least plan on coming back. But yeah.
Well, then we're in agreement, he says, and claps his hand and rubs them together in an expression of glee and says, well, daylight is burning. Let's get you to Chivasso.
Chivasso.
Yeah. And Rossetti brings you outside to a little inconspicuous car, and you drive the few kilometers to the little village. And as you arrive there, there is she lets you out at the station, and you can see from just getting out immediately. Second. We are on the 7th. Yeah. So maybe she will hook you up with a little place to stay. What do you think? What kind of place do you imagine where you're going to stay for like the next 2 nights?
Did we say, is this a small
Yeah, it's a small village.
kind of village, but it's got a station?
Mm.
Are there any supervisors for the cause that can put us up?
Oh yeah, sure. That's
Mhm.
what I was fishing for. If you imagine more that you stay in a hotel, or if you stay with like the local communists, then in that case, yeah, I think there is it's probably not a huge cell in this city, but a
Maybe it's an old lady.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking as well. An old lady who keeps you in for the 2, or takes you in for the 2 nights, gives you a bed and some good, healthy nonna food to eat, and you can stay the night. And on the next morning, you or no, like how do you want to spend the like the day before the train comes? You have 1 day to prepare boarding the train.
So, I mean, I kind of wouldn't mind finding out, kind of scouting out what some of the route of the track would be. Because even if we're on a
Absolutely.
train, I mean, the mission is to derail it.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything I can do, up front to do the track or set things up, that would probably be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you can scout the train tracks, and if you do that, you will find out that there is a spot before the train comes into the city, where there's a bend in the tracks, and that bend in the tracks means that the train will need to slow down, which is a prime spot for you to board it unseen.
Okay. Yep. So, what I might, can I just check something? So I'll ask a bit kind of out of. Is the general vibe then the idea is that we will need to board the train, get on it, and then
yeah. That is the idea, that you would need to board it, and then on board of the train you would need to find a way to destroy it. Boarding was the way that Chivoni suggested, but it's of course not the only thing you can do.
Okay. And Maya, please feel free to jump in if you've got anything. Yeah, I think it might be worth us seeing if there is anywhere with a bit of cover, before the train, if there's a place where it's going to have to slow down before it gets into the station. I mean, I imagine, or at least narratively, it'd be quite fun. I imagine it's pretty much a straight line from when it leaves the station, so it's able to pick up speed. The other end, so we do want to get on beforehand. So yeah, I'd probably just make sure there is a place for us to.
I mean, if you look at the maps, there will be a few curves along the way, which would be like an obvious way to derail a train, right? Is to have it run full steam into a curve.
That's one of my thoughts at one point. Can I damage the track in any way, or put something on the track? Oh, that's the obvious one, to put something on the track.
Yeah, you can do that, of course. Do you want to do that in like close to the city, or do you want to do that a bit further out?
Probably would have bought a bit further out, or at least get ourselves set up so we could do something. Because I assume, we have an understanding of the kind of time we're expecting it the next day to turn up, or we just know the next day? Okay, I would probably do a bit further away from the city, because otherwise, if you're doing too close, there'll be reinforcements for the regime. So yeah, and I don't think. I think what it might make sense then. So if there's I think for now, I mean, unless you've got a different idea, if there's, I think it'd just probably be worth. I'd probably set up a place to make sure we can get on the train when it slows down. So we,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what we'd aim for.
Yeah.
And if it's going to slow down, if it is going to have to slow down.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a presence roll?
Yeah.
The way we do that is you roll a d20 and add
Mhm.
your modifier, that your amazing +3, and try to get over a 10.
I rolled a 10, so yes, 13.
Cool. So you go to the spot where the curvature is, and you find a little ledge and a tree that's growing on the ledge that is hanging
Yeah.
right over the train tracks. So that would
Yep.
be a prime spot to just drop onto the train.
Yep, I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Also, while you I guess, what are you doing, Viviana? What
Yeah. So I was
while Mason
thinking.
is checking that out?
Yeah. I was thinking he would probably be trying to maybe talk with the people in town and see if
Sure.
anyone knows anything. And I mean, just in case, and also because honestly, she likes the dress. She would put on the dress and animal too.
Yeah. So the town is not that big. It's mainly this main station and the piazza around it. And as you go there, you see that the station is guarded by a small detachment of black shirts, led by a DVRA commander. And the DVRA are basically the Italian, OVRA, the Italian Gestapo. So they are the secret police that is specifically designed to hunt communists. So the commissar is a bit of a tougher number, and you see that they are meticulously checking everybody who leaves and enters the train station. And as you stand there and you look into the windows, maybe sit down for a cafe, an old man comes to you, and he recognizes you. What do you think? What does he recognize you as? Where does that old man know you from?
Yeah. Good question. Maybe I've done some kind of maybe theater or something, performances.
Okay. So he sits down and opposite to you in the cafe, and he greets you. Oh, Signora Danieri, you're gracing our little village. Oh, that is so nice. And then he gets up again, bows a little, does he reach out with his hand to shake? Is that the way an old man would have done that at the time? Let's say yes. Reaches out his hand for you to shake and says, "I am. You can call me Giancarlo. I've fought in the Piave, and during the long nights, the records of your mother, the famous opera singer, kept me warm and kept me sane in the war. And now to see you here, that lights up an old man's heart."
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Will you allow me to invite you to a cup of coffee?
Well, sure.
And then he waves to the waiter to bring you something and says, "So what brings you here? Are you on your way to Turin? Are you having a play there?"
Oh, well, I am not specifically on my way to Turin myself, although I'm here for the matters of something else that is making its way to Turin.
Oh, so mysterious. You can't talk about it. I understand. I bet you're I bet you're on your way for the secret police, he says, as it just made the funniest joke in the world. And as he talks, he catches the eye of the commissar, and the commissar makes his way over to you, and the old man keeps chatting. Yeah. So how's the family? How's your mother?
Oh, she's doing well.
My children have all left for the big city. You know how it is. And now the commissar is coming closer.
Did you mention during the briefing the commissar will be getting on the train as well?
That is somebody else. The person getting on the train is Commissioner Ignacio Ganassa, and he is a fascist big shot. The guy here is just a quote-unquote normal commissar. Like, nothing to scoff at, but not the Commissioner Ganassa.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. I just thought I was just trying to put a couple together. There was an idea there.
So the commissar has reached your table now, and he is looking at the old man, looking at you, and Signor Taglieri, I would not have expected you here in this city. Mind telling me what you're doing here?
Oh, the scenery around here is lovely, and I thought I might get some fresh air.
Certainly. I'm sure that is a good enough reason. Can you please give me a presence roll? And since that commissar has the ability, the truth will set you free, all presence rolls within 6 meters of the commissar increase their damage rating by 3. So it's not against the 10, it's against the 13.
Okay.
To try and put them at ease.
16.
Oh, very good. So he says, yeah, that is right. I understand that. It is a beautiful day, and it is a beautiful place of a beautiful part of our empire. Yes. And he looks at Giancarlo and says, you fought at the Piave. My father fought there as well. Good men. And then they exchange the Roman salute. Do you join them? Or are you demonstratively not?
Yeah, I think I would play along.
And then the commissioner turns back and has come to the decision, as it seems, that you are not any danger. Let's have a break here. But before we go to break, maybe we can quickly have a look at the Zeal rules, just so we don't forget it.
That's fine. Yes. You're just reading it.
You can also read them. Your break is meant to be a break, but if you have time, maybe read them yourself. They are starting in J89 on the rules section. It is a bit long, but it's not super complicated. Basically, it's just a resource, and you can do one of 5 things with it. That is inflicting maximum damage on an attack, repeating a die roll, or have somebody else repeat a roll, reduce damage taken, ignore fumble or crit, and lower the damage, the difficulty of a test by 4. And then you can also summon an uprising, and if you do that, this is where all the text comes out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you have D3, and they, funnily enough, they refresh at the start of a session or when a comrade dies for the cause. And let's go to break. How much do you need? 10, 15?
I'm fine with either, to be honest.
Okay, then let's go with 10 and meet back 10 past.
Sounds good to me.
That's good.
Okay,
see you then.
Brilliant. Cheers. Yeah.
Hey.
Did you say you're a fan of Mark of the Odd and Bastion?
Yeah.
Nice. Have you looked at the? I can't remember the name of it now, but I was going to say Bastion landed space yet.
No. Too many books to read, not enough.
Yeah.
Hours in a day. Okay, so now we know how Mason wants to get on the train. How does Viviana want to get on the train? Are you also taking the branch, or do you have any other ideas?
So, do you know Was the train planning on stopping briefly at the station here, or was it just
Oh yeah,
passing?
yes. It is. It will stop briefly, and the commissioner will enter the train. Like he will enter the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the way to phrase that. Yeah. It's not going to be a long stop, but long enough for the commissioner to join, and that would be a moment where you could also slip on board. It's a military train, so it's not like you can just buy a ticket, but you can certainly try to charm your way past the black shirts into the station if you want that.
Yes, that sounds like something I would definitely want to try to do.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I mean, best case scenario would be to get invited on the train. Yeah.
Invited. Oh.
Yeah, that would be quite good.
It's an interesting play. Mm-hmm. Do you want to try and meet the commissioner, or who would you like to be invited by? Like, who's your mark?
Well, could either be that or just like now that I already was talking with this commander.
Commissar, was it?
The commissar?
Maybe could be a way in.
You could definitely. Yeah, you could definitely try to have him let you into the train station. I'm not sure he has the kind of political pull to get you on board of the train, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. But
so are you like running after him as he's walking away, or how are you playing it?
Yeah, maybe more like walking calmly, and or maybe just as he makes to leave, I maybe stand up and I couldn't help but notice you all seeming to be over there at the train station. Is there anything special going on? That you're guarding it so?
Just military matters, Signora. Nothing you need to concern yourself with.
Oh, well, that sounds awfully exciting, though.
Yeah, it is. But still, nothing you need to concern yourself with. We've got it all in hand. And he smiles at you. And his eyes are just piercing yours, in the way that even when he's at ease, as he is now, he is like a shark. Swimming through waters. And then he smiles, tips his cap, and turns around again, unless you do something.
Was also earlier debating if I should just attacking, but I don't think that's a really good idea right now.
I mean, you could in the middle of a marketplace.
Is there any sign? Sorry, I hope you don't mind suggesting something.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sign of train crew? There might be. And I've got a habit of just adding things as like maybe this might be happening. Is there a chance that they might be looking into changing, the actual crew, not the your train driver and that kind of stuff, and you might be able to kind of go along with one of them because they they might have their own kind of situation on the train. There might be a reason to bring someone along with them.
Yeah, sorry to shoot you down there, but no.
Oh, that's fine.
This is a like direct path they're taking, and a dedicated crew.
That's right. I thought that might be the case.
Yeah.
If you don't ask, you don't know, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, the other idea would be to see what things look like in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not to shoot you down on like a I don't know, technicality, if you will, Maya. You kind of like said, yeah, it sounds awfully interesting, and he didn't take from that you want to take a look at it. But as your GM, I know that was you were going at. So maybe he's just like, would you?
Yeah, or maybe I could add something.
Or maybe I just reacted in a like stupid way. I think he'll just say, "Would you like and take a look, Senora?" Or maybe I got it. before we do any of that, why don't you give me a presence roll against 13, and then we'll see
Yes,
how
absolutely.
how forthcoming he is.
That sounds good. Well, that's a 1.
Oh, that's a fumble. That's not great. Luckily, fumbles seem to be happening only in fights.
I'm going to say, knowing what Mortborg's like, I imagine it's not.
So then we'll stay with what we established earlier, that he
that sounds good.
just like coldly shoots you down and says, no, it's well in hand, don't worry about it. I can't say anything more to that effect. You understand military matters. And then he tips his cap and walks off.
Yeah, that sounds good. Perfect.
So is there anything else you would like to do during the day, or do you just want to wait for the next morning when the train comes around?
I think that sounds good for me.
Yeah, I think Mason will, I imagine he's been off, surveilling all this area, or you've been enjoying coffee, chatting to locals. And yeah, I think at some point he kind of just comes back, he kind of scouts down the other end, so he kind of understands what the line is like, both sides.
Yeah, okay.
He keeps you back he avoids the main square whenever possible. He doesn't blend in as nicely as yourself. He'll probably get a few more questions.
I'm sure there are other working class people around here as well.
Oh, he'll blend in wherever they are.
Mason, why don't you give me a presence check just to see if you pick up anything else interesting?
Okay, straight 20.
Shit. Now I have to think of something good. I think what you do during the day is that you talk to some person that the old grandma that you're living with knows, and that person borrows you a motorcycle, and you use that motorcycle to like scout the track ahead.
Yep.
And as you do that, you find that there is a diversion in the track. Like one path goes to Turin, and the other one, as you follow it, seems to end in a mountain. Like there is a big metal gate that closes like over the tracks, and that looks like some sort of hidden military installation just by the sheer shape of it. And there's not much you can do there, like right now, I guess, unless you can think of something, of course. Don't want to railroad you there.
Intended. Sorry, did you say this is after the train? This would be the route.
This is the way the track will take tomorrow.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to double check. So this is the way we'll be going. I will go to where the branch. The points there. Does it look like? Is it a manual lever, or does it look like? Well, is there a lever for it? Or if there's not, then I would assume that it's further up the track in some sort of housing, signal housing.
With your 20, I will give you the narrative right here. What would you like that to be?
I realise actually I didn't either, but I'm going to, just because it does mean it makes their life harder and does give us an out needed. I am actually going. I assume I can. I'm overthinking.
What would you like to achieve?
I assume that the track is set for it to be going towards the city, and
yes,
this is and that's the final city. That's where they're taking the control.
That is Turin.
Yeah, Turin. I'll get my note. That's why. Sorry, which one is it? Which city are we at with the station?
This is the small city of Chivasso.
Okay, that's why I got them around the wrong way. That'd be why. So instead of it going to Turin, I want it to go to where this gate is. Now, it might turn out not to be a good idea because they might have communications, they might be able to open the gate, but it forces it not to go where it is. Actually, oh no, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to jam something into the what I say points. So that's the bit where it switches where the track is.
Yeah, you want to sabotage the.
I want to sabotage it, even if because then it doesn't matter if it could go one way or the other. It's going to struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just totally apropos nothing. I just, while we were talking, looked up the distance between Chivasso and Turin.
Yeah.
I meant to do that earlier and I forgot, but now I know it's a half an hour by train, 5 hours of walking. So if and 1.5 hours by car. So you can totally check out the entire route during one day and go back. So that's totally
Nice.
not that it really matters, but
Yeah, that's good to know.
totally possible. You want to sabotage the thing?
I'm thinking
mhm.
maybe if I'm able to acquire some scrap metal, or maybe if there's a jerry can on this bike or something spare, what I want is literally just stuff it in the points so they can't easily be changed one way or the other, which will cause the train to either derail or stop where it is.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if we want to have a role for that, but I don't think it would be interesting to fail that thing. So,
well, I was only going to suggest maybe a strength roll with the consequences of which it kind of shows later on.
Yeah. No, actually, and I think there is something in it if you fail, because even if you fail, you know the thing is there, and then you can try later, like when the train's driving or whatever, to work with that. I think you just want to like push stuff in there, right? It's nothing very delicate or
it is not delicate. It's not technically.
Then I guess a strength check is what we need. So modifier 0, and let me just quickly look at the difficulty bands. I hate difficulty bands, by the way. Is it normal or is it difficult to do that?
I think one failed. So.
I think it's rather difficult, actually.
That's fair.
Is it? Let me just think through it. You're pushing like debris, wood, metal shavings and stuff. Not shavings. Like let's say there is maybe a I imagine like the Italian like landscape, and there is an old brick house close to it where the switcher would have his post. Oh yeah, true. There's probably a person who does that manually. Let's go that route, actually. Okay. That sounds interesting to me.
Yes.
So there is some guy like with a big handlebar mustache and a literal blue color sitting in the shade of his house, of his office. And as he sees you getting off your motorcycle and looking at the switch, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing there?"
Hello. Just having a nice look about, a nice wander. And I kind of turn around and he tries to look as big as he can. As I said earlier, he's a large guy, but not as large as he once was. And he kind of forgets this. I assume you're the one who looks after this switch here. I mean.
Yep, and the guy gets up and is also quite the tall fella, and takes his big tongue that he uses to switch the switch, and puts it over his shoulder, kind of leisurely menacing you.
I assume that way is to
Turin, and then the other city is Chivasso. You came from that direction, right? You got to know.
I'm trying to point towards the direction the train will be going.
Oh, Turin.
That way to Turin. What's off that way?
Sorry, what?
What's off that way? Down the, and I'm saying, where I saw that metal grate and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some government thing, I guess. Not my pay grade.
Well, I assume that okay. So I assume if you don't get much traffic, you're not often told to switch it then.
Nah. That's usually it's just one way to Turin. But still, work's got to be done, eh?
Yes, that it does. I'm trying to. So what I'm going to try and do now instead is I want to try and find out if he's agreeable to ideas.
Yeah.
The idea of.
Luckily, there is a GM move for that. Let me just quickly roll his reaction, his starting reaction. I should have done it earlier. That is 6. He starts out hostile. So he's
that's funny.
And then you are a communist saboteur, I take it, and he's like taking his big tongue off his shoulder and is I step back a bit
towards the bike, just so I could kind of lean on my large axe. I wouldn't say I'm a saboteur. Not really. I assume you've seen a few around here.
Yup. And they usually don't last long, especially not with bum legs like yours. So how about you do both of us a favor and just toot off on your motorcycle?
You're fine. I'm going to try this once. We'll see how this goes. Okay. I'm not very good at talking rhetoric to people, that kind of thing, trying to convince them. But as a player, as a character, I want to have a go at trying to. Are you happy actually just sitting here doing the bidding of these people who are willing to just
give me a presence check?
Yeah.
And since the dice told me that he's starting out hostile,
Yep.
maybe I think it's also difficult to get him on your side.
21 in total.
Yep. So he's like, we also since we only have 90 minutes left, maybe we don't have to have a philosophical discussion about the merits of fighting for the working class. But let's say in the end you get him convinced, and he's like, actually they don't pay me enough to get into fights with people.
What I do actually, I say, okay, if I get him on the side, I say, I tell him what I'm trying to do, get him sabotage, and I say, if he does that, oh no, this ain't my bike. Okay, I can't give him the bike. Okay, if he could do that, and I know some people who can help him.
Down
the line, that's the best bit.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Then he maybe tells you, like, as you're chatting, I imagine at some point in that afternoon he will break out. I don't imagine he has a fridge in 1943 in nowhere land between those two cities. But he will bring out a bottle of warm beer, Day warm, and as you share it, he will tell you that the fascists have a cousin of him in prison, and then you offer to talk to your people.
Yes.
And that then brings him over the line, and what do you want him to do, actually?
Fundamentally, I want him to do what I was trying to do. So I want him to sabotage the spokes so they can't go either way. It will cause the train to fundamentally stop or derail. That's if it's successful. Otherwise, it will just click place.
Yeah. I mean, it was successful, and that means for him, and he will tell you that, that the train will probably derail at that point, and that means he won't be there because he doesn't want to get caught by that or by the aftermath, because then the regime will look at him.
Yep. No, I understand that. And that's kind of why I suggest, I know people that can hide you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but with your 20, what was 21, 22?
21. I rolled an 18, so +3, so 21. Yeah.
Yeah, he is on board with that.
Okay.
He also tells you, though, that if you want that to happen, it's best to make sure that the train is going with top speed.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That gives us an extra challenge.
Yes. And back to Viviana. Sorry, I forgot what you wanted to do the rest of the day. You told me something and forgot what it was.
Well, maybe try to get an invitation on to the train, but that could also be the next day.
Please make a presence roll for me as well, just against the normal 10.
Yep.
Just to see if anything comes out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a 4.
A 4, okay. So I am afraid there's not much happening on that front, but let's try and fail forward here. You do not manage to get an invitation, but you do manage to be at the spot as the Commissioner Ganassa rolls in, and you now know what he looks like. And he is a guy with a big scar on his face, like these kinds of scars that Germans of the time used to get in their fencing tournaments, in their fraternities in university, to show like how manly and militaristic they were. And he is wearing a business suit, a like finely tailored Italian business suit, and is followed by some sort of Smithers, like by his vice commissioner, and they of course stay in the nicest hotel at the plaza. And so you now know what he looks like, you know where he is, and I don't know if that will help you just now, immediately, but that is at least something that came out of your failed try to get onto the train.
Great.
Okay, and with that, is there anything more you would like to do, or do we want to cut forward to the next day?
I think we should cut forward to the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Viviana, let's give you another try if you wanted to do something with your Black Widow skills, unless you also want to do go the branch way.
Well, I mean, I might as well try to go to the hotel. I suppose.
Absolutely.
Maybe could start with like asking the owner of the hotel if I could maybe do some entertainment to breakfast or something.
Oh yeah, we will just be too happy. And yeah, maybe you can like there's a little stage and you can sing a popular patriotic song.
Yeah.
And catch the eye of the commissioner that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd like, you could give me a presence, and I will just assume that you are wearing your elegant dress.
Yes, of course.
And that guy is more of a capitalist than a Nazi ideologue. So it will have an effect on him. So I would say it is a simple action. So it's against an 8.
Okay, great.
To catch his eye and get it in with him.
Let's try that. Well, that's a 3.
So he is talking to his second in command and is not really like paying attention. He's like, clapping when you're done. But during your number, he's just having some sort of discussion and is not really noticing you. Other people are, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to suggest something in the interest of maybe fading forward. Could it be chance that some of his, he might have his own entourage with him? If members of his entourage she might have got their attention.
Yeah, I would think. So let me put it this way. His vice commissioner does notice you, and he gives you the eye the entire time. And you might, to honor the fail, you might not have an opportunity right now to interact with him. Like after the show, they will get up, and you won't get the vice commissioner by himself, but you might get him by himself later, and then he will remember you.
Great.
Okay, cool. And with that, I guess you're both on the on the tree. I guess that's where you end up.
Or maybe,
yeah.
Maybe I could try to sneak into the train station, opening the door with my lockpick.
Oh, what door?
So first, just to get into the train station.
Like some back door, you mean?
Yeah, and sort of hide out there and try to get on the train when it passes.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some sort of back door that's usually locked, and it's not a specifically capitalist door.
Yeah, I love this. That's how you to open capitalist doors. Yeah.
But I don't think they have specialized locks. So yeah, give me a D10 agility test and see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, that's much better. 19.
Nice. Okay, it's not quite a crit, but close. Yeah, you manage without a problem to pick the lock and sneak in, and always keep out of the cones of sight of everybody working there. And where do you want to end up? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, I guess let's be somewhere close enough so that I think I can get onto the train quick. Oh, maybe does the building have 2 floors?
Oh.
2 stories?
Sure.
Maybe then I could get up on the second floor and try to make my way out of a window and jump onto the train when it passes the station.
That is cool. That's basically the same approach that Mason takes, but easier because you're jumping on when it's standing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I would be open. It's your choice, both of yours. Do you want to chance it and have the lumbering oaf that is Mason with his -1 modifier on agility also have a stealth check, so he's also in there? Or does Mason stick with a branch plan? Like, do you want to risk failing the entire thing, both of you?
See, I can't imagine that he would have gone. The way it sounds, he's probably already made his.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's
too.
quite risky already. What I might have asked though, actually, if he's been able to still borrow that bike, he's made his way to the points, and he's left that bike somewhere, just in case he completely fails.
What is the point you want?
It's more the fact that so if he tries to jump on from the branch onto a moving train and somehow survives yet completely fails, he's got a bike to ride to try and catch up.
Yeah.
So you leave the bike there close to the tree. Got it. Like maybe a bit covered.
Covered in a bit of hedge and stuff just around the corner.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Not a problem. Then let's see how you are doing with your check.
Yep.
So if you are just jumping off the ledge, I think that will be a let's say a difficult agility check. And I'm just wondering. So you see the train coming in. It has a locomotive and it has 4 train cars.
Okay.
Where do you want to drop?
So it would be after the locomotive. I assume it's going to be.
Probably.
So the locomotive. I can't remember the coal. I would probably aim for the first carriage.
Like just on the roof of it.
On the roof of it, but that's more for the. Actually, I'd aim for the middle one. More for the fact that I expect I'll probably end up on the. Depending on how much it has to slow down, I'll probably end up either at the end of that or next one.
So it having 4 cars, there's no middle one.
No, I know. I realise that.
Do you want the second or the third?
Second.
Okay.
So I've just been drawing it.
Then let's go with an agility check to see how that works out. I think we don't need a check from Viviana. It's just a matter of
what do I need to beat?
I think I said earlier it's difficult. It's a 12.
Nice. Yeah, so that is a 14 in total.
Nice. Even with your -1, I'm impressed.
Yep. Well, that's with the -1 to 14.
Yeah. So you end on you jump down and you land on your wagon.
Yep.
And as you land, your leg slips a little bit and you land flat on your stomach, but you've had worse. You hold on and you are safe on the roof, and being like flat on your stomach is a great idea anyway, since you're like now driving into the train station.
And he does stay as flat as he can and probably moves slightly. Are they kind of?
I imagine that. Yeah, and you can just go to the side that is not
precisely
angled towards the station.
That's the plan.
And and Viviana, you see the train coming in, and on the second wagon on the roof there is Mason lying as flat as he can. What do you do?
Yeah. Once the train is stopped, I do slip onto I guess whichever carriage happens to be under the window I can get out of.
I mean, you can pick and choose. I imagine there is the train station, and on the second level there is like a little maybe balcony that runs the entire length of the station, and with that it also runs the entire length of the train.
Great. Yeah. Let's go with the third carriage, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so one after Mason, not the same one. Okay. And I would just take that off the 19 agility roll that you did earlier. That's still like covered by the stealth roll that you did earlier. That you like drop the moment the train starts. So you are covered by the steam of the locomotive and the noise. And then the train starts moving. What's the next play?
I think I will try to crawl over towards so I can actually possibly shout to you or make some sort of signal. And I will point towards. So you're on the third carriage. How do we want to do this? Do we want to just jump down and make our way through, or do we want to make it to one end of the train and make our way down this way? How much?
I mean, I guess the first question is, what is your bigger plan, actually?
Yeah, I guess it is. So,
like, do you want to go to the locomotive to make sure that it's top speed up? Or do you want to explore the carriages, see what's there?
Because our main thing is we want to make sure this mind control device gets destroyed, don't we?
Yeah.
So
your handler was quite confident that it will be destroyed once the thing derails.
Okay.
But maybe if you want to like leave alive, maybe there's some way to facilitate that in the cars. If you don't have that kind of constraint, then I guess you can just go straight to the top.
What are you thinking, Maya? Do you want to find the device and figure it out by that way? Or
well, Viviana is interested in surviving, so
yes, yeah.
Guess that kind of answers maybe. Although, yeah, maybe trying to derail it does sound like a good idea, but then also kind of trying to find a way to survive inside.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because we could try and find the device to make sure we can destroy it, but we could then also still try and speed the train up. Because so I think Mason would be happy enough to try and speed the train up, but I understand that you probably would also try and survive.
We could split up, of course.
I felt like we've done enough of that already. Feels a bit. But I'm happy to try and find the device and figure it out from there if you want.
Yeah, or if we split.
Yeah, we can split if you want. Do you want to split and I speed the train up and you go to the device?
If that sounds agreeable.
Yeah, don't mind. I'm easy going.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So we have Mason on train car roof 2 and Jan on train car roof 3. Mason, so I'm guessing you want to go ahead, right?
Yep.
Yep. Do you try to be in any way sneaky about it, or are you just clomping on the roof?
He's trying to be sneaky. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to succeed at being sneaky, and I don't think I'd give roll for that. As we've already stated, he's not the best on his feet. It's a moving train.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is just trying to find the best way he can.
So you're like crawling on the roof of that moving train. And I think if you're crawling, I will have it be a normal difficulty check with agility.
So that's a 2 in total.
Hi.
Oh, dear.
So maybe there's a little bend in the road that makes you slip off. And with loud curse, you take your carpenter's axe and like make sure that you don't fall off.
Yep.
By hacking into the roof, but unfortunately, of course, anybody who is on the other side of that roof will see the spike of your axe. I don't know what a carpenter's axe looks like, but imagine to have a little spike on the end.
I believe it's meant to be, the way they describe it, it's meant to be a big two-handed axe. I keep going for kind of carpenter fireman's axe type of thing.
Yeah, carpenter's axe. Let's just quickly Google that. Oh no, they're just those like a woodman's axe, so they don't have a spike per se. But maybe you just hold on with your blade.
Oh, with the blades in there,
or with a knife. Maybe with a knife. But something that the people on the other side of the roof will notice in any case. You have the machete.
I'll use the machete. Let's say the machete's in there because that's probably a bit easier one-handed and he's hanging on by that.
Yes. And meanwhile, Viviana is trying to go backwards. Same thing. Do you want to be sneaky about it, or are you just bolting?
I think we'll start by sneaky.
Okay, then also it's an agility, and if you also go on your hands and knees, then it's a normal difficulty.
Yeah. 13.
Nice. So you, where do you want to go? We don't actually know that, do we?
Yeah.
But no matter where you want to go, you can go there.
Yeah.
Where is it? Do you want to drop down before or after wagon 3, or do you want to switch wagons?
I think so. There were 4 wagons, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then maybe
second to last right now.
Yeah. So between 3 and 4, because then I could try to from this direction look into number 4 and see if it seems to be there, and if not, it's I don't need to go through the whole wagon, I guess.
Okay, so you drop down, and we just quickly reread thingies. Most importantly, if there are any black shirts there. No, doesn't seem like it. Okay, so weird. Okay, so you drop between those two wagons, and if you let's deal with the one behind you first, the wagon 4, the last one.
Yeah.
That is a cattle wagon. And it has like cattle wagons, I imagine, are quite because you are supposed to transport living beings there in there, so they have all these slits where air comes through, and you can look into them. I'm not entirely sure if you can look into them from the end of it. You could for sure look into them from the side. Just trying to find a picture of one. They seem to be quite closed off, but maybe in your one there's a little metal like slit where you can push aside a lever. Is lever the right word? Like a little sheet of metal, and then you can look in. And if you do that, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
If you do that, you see that there are about 20 people in there who are like sitting on the floor, malnourished and aching. Some look visibly confused. I'm just wondering if I want to describe more. No, I think that is enough. You get the picture. That is a train that's transporting prisoners, political prisoners, and they look like quite a few of them look like there has been things done to their minds. And in the other wagon 3, the one you were just on top of, there's also a little window in the car, in the door, and through that window you see that there is a motorcycle in there, and a motorcycle with a sidecar and a large apparatus that is, it looks like a big fridge, maybe. A big fridge, and on the sides of the fridge there are 4 helmets. And standing around them are people who also look like the people in the cart. Like one of them is even wearing a frayed priest's frock that's soiled and dirty, and they all just look like stare straight ahead, not moving. And with that, let's go back to our friend Mason.
Nice.
You see Viviana slipping between the 2 wagons. Behind you and in front of you, a bunch of wait a second. Let me just quickly think of the logistics of that train. I think you it will take you a few moments, maybe a minute or so or two, to stabilize yourself and get back into a control position. as we would say in Blades in the Dark. By the time you're done with that, you see two pairs of hands on the ledge of the train roof in front of you.
Yep.
And two black shirts are pushing themselves up.
Am I on the second roof still or the first?
No, since you're so totally bungled your roll,
Yep. Still on the second
you're lucky that you're still on the second one.
That's what I thought. That's fine. Just double checking, getting my bearings, and they're coming from the front.
Yeah.
I am going to. So they're still climbing up.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought was I'm going to rush them, then back down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that I really, that doesn't seem necessarily plausible. I will, as I've scrambled myself back up, I'm going to see if I do get the opportunity. I'm going to try and I'm actually just going to try and stab one of them in the hands with this machete that I've just ripped out of the thing in the attempt to carry on trying to make my way across to the next character. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the way combat works in this game is that you can totally attack them. That would be a strength test against 10. But first there's a little initiative procedure, and that is for me to do. I roll a d6 on a 1 to 3. You go first. I go first. On a 4 to 6, you guys go first. And I roll a 3. So my guys go first. So they will spend their turn to just move upwards. I guess the lifting themselves up to the roof is an action. Mm-hmm. So that's all they're doing. But by the end of the turn, they are standing in front of you, ready to combat. But then it's your turn. And then what you can do is do a melee attack, of course. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing here is that I am not rolling for attack. No. But they both attack you.
Yep.
And you need to defend. And if you fail, I roll damage.
Yep.
So what's happening is since it's my turn, I need you to roll agility against 10.
I thought their turn was just getting up to the roof. Are they?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. Good point. So no attack this round, and you can go.
Okay, so plan was slightly changed. He gets the big axe out, and he's going to just charge at them. It's going to be a melee attack at the end, but he's going to charge at them to try and knock them, or at least knock one of them back.
Nice. So that sounds like it's strength anyway.
Yep. Yeah, either way it's strength. And it's just against 10, is it?
Yeah.
That's a 4. They brace themselves well.
Luckily, you don't hurt yourself with that 4.
Nope.
Do you want to use one of your zeal points?
Oh, yeah, we've got the zeal points, haven't we? Yeah, let's use one because, time is going past. So I assume that just goes down to 2. Just change on that. Perfect. Yep.
So what does Seal do? You can either do inflict maximum damage, but for that you would need to hit first, repeat a die roll, or have a comrade repeat a roll.
I assume it's going to be repeat a roll.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I assumed was meant here as repeat a roll.
Yeah.
And 14.
Nice. So that's a hit.
Nice. Yep. Okay. And so I assume I just do
yeah. So I offer you a choice. I know I'm not supposed to roll, but and they don't really have agility stats. But you have a choice. Either you do normal damage, or I roll a d20 against 10, and if I fail, the black shirt you just attacked just falls off the roof.
Let's go for that. I'm up for that laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to get over 10 or below 10 for my?
For him to fall off, I would need to fail, so I would roll under 10.
Cool. Also,
and it's an 18. So
it's like under 10, just a bit off. Okay.
So he. No, you know what? Oh, wait a second. I just remembered that there is actually rules for that. So I'll let you do damage anyway. Okay. Let me just check what the rules for moving on the train was. A great way to avoid unwanted encounters is to move from wagon to wagon by walking on the roof. Easier said than done, however, as the train is moving fairly quickly and the route is full of twists, turns, and bumps. Except for basic movement, all complex movement increases its DR by +2. If the squalid servants or the complainant realize the revolutionists are on the train's roof, they immediately climb up to face them in a harrowing showdown. Every round of combat on the roof, roll 1d6 to determine if a special event occurs. So hitting is 12, not 10, is what I'm getting out of that.
Okay, that's that sounds about right.
I'll just let you do damage, and then we have the special events table. Let's do it that way. Sorry.
So just to note, the thing with this axe is it ignores one tier of armor.
Mhm.
This black shirt
They
armor.
don't have any armor.
Fine.
They're just black shirts. So
Yeah.
they're literally wearing trousers and black shirts.
Yep.
And
a 5.
And batons and pistols. That's 5 damage. And yeah, that hits him. And there is a rule about morale. The majority of capitalists quite like their life and will not fight to the death. Roll for morale if the enemy leader has been killed. That has not happened. Half or more of the group of enemies have been eliminated. Also not yet. A single enemy has fewer than 1/3 of their hit points remaining. In these cases, roll 2d6. Okay, that is the case. If the result is higher than the moral value, the enemy is despairing. Morale value. What is the morale value? Do they have a morale value? No, they don't. Yeah, sometimes there's a little. The book is a bit wonky.
Okay.
It refers to a morale value, but I don't know what that is, and I've read that the first time.
Yeah, I've seen it in some of the other versions, but I don't know what kind of.
There's another thing. There's a mention of armor there, but nowhere in the book does it actually say how armor works.
Oh, okay.
But on the character sheet, there are 3 armor classes, and minus D2, minus D4, and minus D6. But I have no idea what that means. So I assume you reduce armor damage, and but what is the minus D? I have no idea. The book doesn't tell me.
Fair enough.
So let me just roll my 2d6 and see what and then maybe just wing it, since the book isn't clear. That's a 5. That's not a great roll.
No.
And I still don't know what the morale value is. Then let's just ignore that rule.
Yeah. If the result is higher than the moral value, the enemy despairing, roll a d6 and see if they flee. Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to roll twice. You roll once to see if it's passed, and then you've got to roll again to see if they actually flee.
Yeah, I do like that part, but like this, I'm referring to a morale value, and then there's no morale value. That is odd.
Their morale value is probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, like the NPCs have HP and they have damage.
Yeah.
That's all they have. So maybe against their HP. In that case, he has 1 hit point left, and then he's for sure. Yeah, that would make sense to me actually. Against that morale value is against hit points. In that case, he has fucked it up, and then I just roll. Does that make sense? That means the higher the remaining hit points are, the higher you need to roll to fail. Yeah.
Although it feels like it's a bit. It seems like then the hit point's quite low. So if it's only 1, then you can't actually get lower than that, for example.
But it says if the result is higher, then the enemy is despairing. So rolling higher than the value is bad. And then it makes sense that it gets easier to despair the lower your hit points are.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I roll a d6 and see if he's fleeing outright or just surrendering. A 4. So you hit him, and your machete, or machetes are nasty.
It's actually the axe.
Oh, it was the axe. Sorry. What does it look like? Like, how do you hit him? And you really, as I said, you hit him bad.
I've hit him bad, and I think I've actually charged, because there's 2 of them. I charged into them, and I've actually had the axe kind of out like that in front of me. So I think instead of this guy actually being hit by the sharp piece of axe, and with the motion of the train, I have just walloped him around the face with the solid wooden baton that is the axe handle around the side of the skull.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, a bit of a shock, I can imagine, especially if you're trying to keep balance.
Yeah, totally. He, and you, the sheer force of the hit pushes him off the roof back onto the platform, and he looks up at you. You look down at him, and he kind of feigns being unconscious.
Yep.
Like he's not getting up anymore by choice.
By choice, yeah, brilliant. I like that.
And then there's the other guy, but as I said, he had his turn.
Yep.
Let's go back to Viviana. What are you doing?
Yeah, just wondering if we could take a quick break.
Oh, sorry, absolutely. We totally overshot the break time. Is 5 minutes enough?
Yeah, for me.
Or do you need more?
No, I'm
Should
fine
be
with that.
fine.
Okay, then let's meet back 15 past.
Okay.
Okay, see you then.
Hello again.
So during break, I consulted the Merkborg book, and there is rules for armor. They are kind of complicated but cool, and I will just only use them if needed.
Yeah.
And more importantly, in the Merkborg, the NPCs do have a morale stat.
Yes. Yeah.
Which they don't in this adventure. So I think for our purposes we will stick with the ruling I just made up that morale stat is their current hit points.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah, no, I did the same thing, looked it up.
Yeah. Okay. Viviana, what are you doing?
Yeah. I guess I think this to maybe to try to get the people in the wagon with in a cattle wagon to get them out of there.
How do you want to get them out of there?
I guess first just see if the door is locked, and assuming it is, use my lockpick.
I think it is not particularly important for them to lock it from the outside. It's you probably can't open the doors from the inside, but I don't think they're locking it from the outside. You can just open it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you open the door, and of course since the train's moving and the wind is coming in from the side, you're not met with the smell of people being perched up in too small a room for too long a time. But what you are met with is they're all cowering in the back of the train, and you notice that it's really cold in there. Like not in any way supernaturally cold, but just like from the fact that the thing has these slits and the wind is coming through. What do you do?
Yeah. Not sure, but would this be a good time to try to summon the uprising, or is that?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So you spend a zeal point to summon the uprising and attempt to lead all the citizens present on the scene to revolt. The rebels won't have direct control of these citizens, but once free from the shackles of the regime, they will unleash chaos by attacking any government representative or agent in their side. Clearly, this type of unrest is a fantastic opportunity for the players to strike significant blows on the enemy and gain the upper hand, if only temporarily. In the long run, however, approximately 20 minutes, the uprising will attract reinforcements called upon by the authorities to bring the situation back under control. For all these reasons, it's essential that the rebels set things up properly to trigger the uprising at the right time and with the highest number of citizens possible. I think that is the case here. Also, looking at the real world clock, we don't have terribly much time, so that would be a great catalyst for the story. Summon the uprising. Roll d6 plus d4 for every zeal point spent, and then rolling higher is better, of course.
Yeah.
So you could spend all your 3 zeal points if you want, and roll with a d6 plus 3d4.
Yeah, why not?
Is there any way I can help? Any way I can spend a zeal point to?
If you can make it work narratively, how your zeal is helping back there.
Yeah, this is the. I don't think I can. There is if he does get wind of it, he will be kind of joining in any shouts for for revolution. But I don't know if he would be heard.
That is your call. Like I think if you just stay there, engaged in the fight, you probably won't be noticed 2 train cars back.
No, I don't really think. I mean, at this moment in time, if you're doing it now, I don't think that helps. So I'm fine with that.
Okay. And I think a d6 plus 3d4 is quite a lot,
still
unless it all comes up once.
Yeah.
Let's
see. Okay. It seems I only needed, because I didn't have more than 2 physical d4, so I was going to roll 1 more, but I already got 12. All of them got 4.
Cool. Okay, wow. So anybody who hears you is ready to follow you to hell and back. Okay, nice. So you you tell them something along the lines of I'm here to help, but I need your help. The working class must stick together, and we will overthrow the fascist regime on this train. Yes. And they don't have anything they can use as weapons in that card, of course. But they will take their fists and follow you.
Yeah, and I think so. I imagine she said she's still wearing the dress, but I know that I think it was like there must have been some suffragists who did it where they like sewed on pockets to their dresses and hid them. So I think that's what she's done with this one, and like from it, maybe. Let's say that she's in the combat fan and pulls that out and like just points it onwards towards the next wagon and leads them there.
Cool. So if you were alone, you would need to either break down or pick the door to the next wagon. But I think your 20 followers will just kick in the door and make relatively short work of the people inside, because the people inside, as soon as the door is being broken down, they rush into a frenzied attack. But your guys will, guys and gals, will, as you notice, will immobilize them, like hug them, make sure that they fall to the ground, and restrain them without hurting them.
Perfect.
Is there anything you want to do with the fridge? As you come close to it, you can see the inscription Loki Geisteskonditionierer Modell 6a. And Geisteskonditionierer, I think what they're going for is like a mind control device. It's not quite the best translation, but
I mean, would definitely like to try to destroy that.
People you see, they could chuck it off the train.
Yeah.
We could destroy it.
Let me just point out, and I point that out because it's in the book, that if you just fuck it. So the book says, it's important to understand that the tampering or even severely damaging the Loki is not enough to succeed in the mission. If it arrives at its destination, it can be repaired over the course of a few days. At the other hand, I see that it's already 20:06. So, how do you want to destroy the thing?
Yeah. Well, actually, then I mean the idea of like throwing it off the train to drag it off the train somehow sounds pretty appealing.
But with that, I will say, like, I don't know if you've ever seen any technical device that was built before 1990. Like they used to be built to last. Even more so a military weapon.
True.
So it will probably be a bit dinged up, but it will not really be damaged by falling off the train onto like soil.
Yeah. I think then maybe like for now leaving it there and continuing.
Yeah, absolutely. Then let's go back to Mason. What are you doing? We're having our second round of combat?
I think so. I think his aim will be to try and make it to the other thing, but I think there's still one guy standing, isn't there?
Yeah, and there was something I was supposed to roll. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I did 1d6 if something special occurs, and that's a 5. Nothing. Okay.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Do you roll for initiative again, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I need to. Another thing that I don't particularly like in Mark of the Odds, you're just your turn first, and I prefer that. It's easier. So you go first.
Okay. I am going to try and swing my axe at this guy. Because I can't imagine I'm in the position to really jump away. Plus, he has got a gun, so he will just shoot me. I do plan to pinch one, but yeah, I'm going to try and hit him with my axe. Hurt him, knock him off. They're the kind of things I'm going for. Okay, so I'm doing a strength roll. It was a 15 on the dice, and I've got the feeling.
Sweet.
I get a minus. There's a +2 to the difficulty, I believe, because.
Yeah, but it's still a 15 still hit.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then
do your damage. 8.
Well, that's a 1.
Okay. Do you want to maybe spend a zeal to do max damage?
Oh yes, you can do max, can't you? Yeah, I'll do all 8 then.
Yep. Okay, then you just tell me how you are getting rid of the guy.
Well, as it's max damage, I think the most fun would be he So his friend's gone down. His character, and pretended to be unconscious. He's hit him, and with the follow through, it's not so much he's going to hit him with the axe. He is just going to shove him with the axe. The guy goes falling off the train.
Oh, nice. And this is the point, I think, where you hear the ruckus behind you. Of the door being broken down, and there's like some kind of fight, and the people are coming, bursting out of the armored door between wagon 3 and wagon 2.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Oh no, let's do it differently.
Okay.
No, let's not do it differently because we need to get done. They're breaking down the door. And there is you hear a banging of like fists on metal, and you see that there's a metal door that is shutting off the access to wagon 2. Let me just quickly make a decision and defer that to a roll. On a 1 to 3, it happens on Mason's end, on the 4 to 6 on Viviana's. It's Viviana's end where it happens. So Mason, you see from your vantage point that there is a group of 2 black shirts and 2 higher ranking Nazis, like one higher ranking Nazi and one guy in a immaculate Italian suit, and they're all like running into the track car, into the car that you're standing on top of.
Okay, so they're running from 1 to 3, are they? Or 1 to 3?
Yeah, from 2 to 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense? No, actually,
no.
They're running from 1 to 2. That is.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
From 1 to 2. And they of course see the guy that you kicked off earlier and look at you, but also they're looking at the ruckus behind you. And I think the commissioner will just, cool as a cucumber, draw a pistol and aim it at you. So you're in combat now. The rest of them will go into the cart.
Yep.
And this is where you, Viviana, see that the metal door is opening. And the guy that you, the vice commissioner that you impressed earlier, is holding a key in his hand that activated this shutter and is charging his 2 remaining black shirts to basically massacre the unarmed civilians.
Right.
And that is the situation, and we have a new initiative. I roll.
Nice. And I give us a +1 to that.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
How does it go, though?
Well, how does a +1? How does the initiative roll work again?
It is. I roll a d6, and on a 1 to 3 you go first, and a 4 to 6 the evolution is. I guess what makes sense is that I only go first on a 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And you go first on a 4 to 6, 2 to 6. I mean.
Yeah, because
3 to 6.
Yes.
And as I rolled a 3, that means you go first. And now you can either just determine who's first between the two of you, or if you want to go technically, you could you could add your agility to a d6 roll.
I'm happy just to figure out who goes first. Seems a bit quicker in this situation. If you would like to go first, I've literally just done stuff. So
yeah, sure.
Yep. Okay. So what do you want to do?
Yeah. I'm just wondering because I saw there was this stay away from the commotion, so like there could be effects from staying in an area while the uprising occurs. I'm not sure it makes sense in on the train, but
what do you mean?
So there was stay away from the commotion under the seal.
Oh yeah. Where do I have it? Zeal are there. Staying while an uprising occurs. Yeah. Do you want me to roll, or do you want to roll?
Sure, you can roll.
Then I can roll for you. So what happens on your end as you're in between all of that? An enemy soldier is trampled right in front of you. You can choose to attack them. If you inflict at least 4 damage, you can steal their baton or shield. Yeah, that fits perfectly. So they charge forward and trample one of the 2 remaining black shirts. And you can charge in, or you can do something with Maurizi, the vice commissioner, or the other remaining black shirt. Or even attack one of the, I think it's like 4 these mind control people that are also attacking on the side of the Nazis.
True.
But since they're mind controlled, maybe you don't want to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I really need to try to steal it, so why not just go for the vice commissioner?
Oh, the people that we're wagging to are not the mind control people, they're just wallet servants. So they will stay out of the fight. You're going for the commissioner? Okay, do you want to just attack him or do you want to use any other of your wiles?
I think at this point it's has to be an attack, really. I don't think I can
convince him to your side.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to attack him, then go ahead. Strength check against 10.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's say not 10. Let's say 8. Like he is outnumbered, but again, there is so much commotion that you can't fully bring that to weight. So it's not a 6, but I think an 8 is fair.
Okay, great. 18.
Well,
yeah.
Yep, 2 damage.
Yeah, and I'm attacking with my combat fan, so that's d4 plus 1, so that's 4.
That's 4. And
Slap it with the fan.
Yeah. What does it sound like? What does it look like? You hit him with a combat fan. So what is that? Is that a fan with like blades, or what do you imagine that to be?
Yeah, like basically one of I think sort of metal fan, reinforced and quite sharp tips. But it's still very, very elegant, of course.
Yeah. So
I imagine twirling around and
I imagine as he opens the door, he sees you, and his mouth is open for a moment, and you take that opening to just like slowly and measuredly step closer, open your fan, and in like one hand flicking motion, just like give him a nasty old scar on his face.
Correct.
Like 4 damage is quite a lot, and brings him to about like half of his hit points.
Nice.
And then over to Mason.
Yeah.
The Nazi is aiming at you, but it's your turn first.
If I can, so the black shirt that's on top of the roof still with unconscious. Can I take his pistol and take a shot at the commissioner?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have numbers for the pistol, so hopefully you've got...
I think it's D6. Let me just see. It is D6, yeah.
Yeah.
And shots go through presence, yes.
Yeah. Okay. 21 in total.
18
again.
Wow. Not quite a crit. No. And you hit him and do damage. D8. No, D6.
D8. Okay, cool.
D6.
4.
4. Okay. Yep. You also hit him. And it is a or maybe no, let's go more with a mark of the odd philosophy here. That is not about hitting but avoiding at this point, since he's still in positives. So you shoot at him, and he with a like snake-like grace of a experienced mercenary expects that, and I think what he does is that he I don't want to give him an extra bonus move. That would be shit. I think it's just the movement of the train and the wind and all that that you do hit him, do miss him, but you force him into a less advantageous position. So maybe he just needs to bow down, hide behind the door of the train car that he just came out of.
He's had to go forward a bit, so because obviously I'm at the top. Because he's had to go forward, he can no longer see me as easily.
Yeah, that was my first thought when I thought, that's giving him a bonus move. But I don't care. We're not playing D&D.
No, I don't. It's not. It's fine.
Let's just go with that, since that was both our first ideas. That he just steps forward, is under the roof, as you said.
Yep.
Line of sight is blocked.
Yeah.
And and now it's their turn. Please, Viviana, give me a agility roll to see if 10. Well, that isn't a success. So
no, I didn't say anything. I did say
I thought I heard 10.
Yeah. No, it's a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. Okay. So Maurizi holds his hand, holds his face. It's like communist harlot, and takes a step back and takes his pistol out and shoots into melee because he's a bit of a knob, and still hits though. And that is D8 damage. That D6. It's still D6. It's not D8. I know why I'm thinking D8 because in a motor game it would be D8. 4 damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Here is to the right is the current.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. And then let's go back to Mason. You also need to give me a defense check, please. An agility 10.
Could I suggest that it's a bit easier because he's having to reposition and also I'm above him on a moving train?
No. The repositioning was the damage that you did.
That's true. Straight 20.
Okay. That means he is not only unable to. That's a crit on a defense. The player gains a free attack.
Ooh.
Okay. Can I do the attack I was thinking of doing?
Yeah,
next
totally.
Turn away.
Yeah.
Can I kick the guy who's lying down, pretend to be unconscious from the top of the roof? Because I imagine he's lying down. I just want to kick him on top of this other guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Last week you were expecting the guy to suddenly land on you.
Yeah. Give me a strength check, and then we'll take it from there. See what it does mechanically, like some sort of damage, I guess.
That's an 8.
That is not enough, unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
Do you want to re-roll with your last zeal, or do you want to save that up?
No, I'm going to save that. I'm going to
attack anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then let's roll initiative again. 4 means you go first again.
Okay.
Let's go start with Viviana.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not happy that he shot me, so let's. Oh, right. Yeah. Actually, let's. Shall we see what does that
the crowd
commotion thing?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forget that. Your commotion result is 14. A rebelling citizen is pushed against you. Take a damage difficulty 10 presence test to make them understand who you are. If you succeed, they will protect you from the next effect.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
15.
Nice. Yeah, so they understand who you are and that you saved them and stand in front of you for the next thing. But first, your attack.
Yes. I think I will just try to strike again with fan.
Yep, do that.
So, well, that's a 1, though.
Aye, that's a fumble.
Yeah.
And you don't have any zeal left. You drop your weapon or it breaks, is lost. What happens?
Yeah, I think as I sort of go to slash him again, the train, we're just at like a place where there's a swerve in the tracks and the train has a violent turn and the fan just falls out of my hand and it's off.
Yes, nice. Cool. And let's go back to Mason.
Okay. I'm going to try and take a shot then, as obviously my last attempt.
Oh yeah, is there a D6 for the being on the roof?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the reminder.
Yep.
That's a 6. That is sudden turn, a successful damage 13. I would say damage. Difficulty 13. Agility check avoids being flung from the train.
Right, okay.
What a curveball.
Well, I mean, it came just as I saw. As I said, there was a curve, so.
I had to go join your fan.
So give me 13.
Oh, after my -1, that is 16.
Cool. So you hold your ground, and now what do you do?
I am going to try and take a shot. I'm going to try and take a shot.
Or are you jumping down?
So, no, because he's still underneath, isn't he? Well, the thing is, I still want to go forward to the engine. So instead, can I try and jump to the next carriage?
And give him a parting shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, for me just rolling the shot?
Yeah.
Cool. Don't know if you want. Sorry, that rolled off the toast. So that's a 7, but I get a +3, so that's 10.
Okay, that is...
that is or not.
It's not because it's a +2 because you're on the roof.
That's what cool.
Do you want to use your last zeal? for reroll?
Yes, because it is him. Oh, yeah, let's just go for it. I was
Yeah.
going to leave it the train drive, but yeah. So that's for a reroll.
I think since we're running out of time, we're going to narrate the locomotive bit anyway.
Yep.
So that will be the
17
last
total.
roll. Cool. So you hit him. Do damage.
Yep. I've lost my D6 from color. 1.
Okay. 1 together with what did you do earlier? 5, 6?
I want to say 5. Yeah.
5, yeah, maybe. So that
4 or
puts
5.
him under 50%. I'm just going to quickly do a morale roll against 4.
Mhm.
And he fails that. And
I can't imagine he'll surrender. I imagine more he'll find a way of.
well, he
No.
is a weasel.
Yeah, he'd more like.
No, but he tries to escape.
Yeah.
So he's running away from. No, where can he escape?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
the only thing he can do really is to just dart off the train.
Yeah.
He'll just jump off and hope for the best. That's the only because you are the
I one side.
Viviana and the people are blocking the access to his motorcycle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all he'll do.
The train gets hit by.
No, I know what he does, but we will need to narrate in the next bit. And since you have the crowd in your back, it's also just a matter of narration how you win. Like you are 22 people against I think 4 or 5. There are 4 black shirts left on the locomotive, and that's all you have on opposition. Those 2 commissioners, the one surviving black shirt, and the 4 in front. So you're outnumbering them 2-1 anyway. But before we go there, I would like to give Viviana a last opportunity to do an attack.
Okay. Sure.
If you want.
Yeah, sure. I draw my sword.
Yeah.
And we'll try to strike. And that's a 1 again. So.
Oh, you also dropped the machete or the sword.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you
Absolutely.
do. Yeah.
Probably get knocked out of your hand by one of your people.
Yes, that's what happens. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I would like you to tell me what happens next. You are running through Wagon 2, and what are you doing with Maurizi, with the vice commissioner? How are you dispatching him as Ganassa is running to the front of the locomotive?
Yeah. I think maybe that runs up to him and passing sort of gives him maybe sort of tries to distract him a bit by being very charming and all.
Yeah.
And then sort of just bumps him off the train with my hip.
Nice. And he falls off, tumbles a few times, and then stays on the grass. And then I will ask Mason, what is the destiny of Commissioner Ignacio Ganassa?
I won't do the funny one. No, I think he does. So I feel like he tumbles off the other way. We see him fall into. I think there's probably one side of the line over this pitch of a bit of woodland. Falls into that. We don't see him land, and we don't actually see what happens. But I kind of like the idea that maybe after the train's finished turning this corner and is kind of out of sight, we see him stand back up. He looks bloody. He looks battered, and he is definitely not walking with speed, but he is unfortunately still alive.
Nice. And then I would like you to just give me a strength check, just to get a general idea of how the fight in the locomotive works out. Just one check, just see how high you get.
20.
20, great. And Viviana?
18.
Okay, so tell me how you dispatch the 4 black shirts there.
I could suggest, if you like, because I've been going from the top. If you're down going through the carriage, you would have to go on a little side plate to actually get to the engine, because there wouldn't necessarily be a corridor to it. If you come along there, I start to distract you as I've got on top of the I forget the bit, and I throw some few bits of coal, so they turn around to have a go at me, and you start to knock them off out of the engine and
Yes.
off the line.
Yeah.
Nice. And then one last question before we finish the adventure. How does it end?
So I had a couple of ideas for this.
Mhm.
I was thinking we speed up the train.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We start to move forward. We speed up the train, telling everyone else to go back to that cattle one right at the back.
Mhm.
Right.
They all get in there, and we unlatch it,
Mhm.
so that carriage is no longer being pulled.
Mm.
And we jump on the motorbike.
Yep.
One in the
Perfect.
sidecar, one on the bike, jumping
Yep.
out just as the train is derailing, coming off. You have that picturesque
Yeah.
bike coming out.
The cattle car is like slowly
Yep.
coming to a halt.
Yep.
With all civilians in it, and the train is like driving up to the switch and is like doing this thing where it like does a little jump, turns halfway,
Yep.
comes down, and the big explosion takes everything with it.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and like as we fly off on a motorcycle, I think we're okay with Viviana driving, and then like because then as she's on top, like her dress sort of just flutters behind her as
Nice.
we
Yep.
fly off the train.
I think, yeah, you're doing that. He's just got his axe in hand.
The heroes of the working class. Very good.
Yep. Nice. Brilliant.
Cool. That was the Locomotive.
Brilliant.
Nice. I will stop the recording and we can do a little round of stars and wishes off the record, because I always feel that it's maybe a bit nicer to know that it's just between the three of us.